What's up, guys? This is Mikey coming at you with a quick crypto video. Um, Today I want to go over some serious value, okay? And everybody can say that they are giving people value in the space. They can say that they found a new crypto trading bot. They can say that they found a new way to multiply your cryptocurrency. They can say that they found this new project that, is promising the world but doesn't have a working product. And all these different scenarios where people claim to have like the next best thing since sliced bread. But then when you take a deeper look into it and you look at the fundamentals and you look at the community and you look at all these different things, it just doesn't check out, right? Or maybe it does. Maybe it does check out. But most of the time, most of these projects on the market right now are basically just giving you fluff at the moment. Not saying that they're not going to release anything in the future. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is right now, there's projects that are delivering and then there's projects that are not delivering. And today I kind of want to go over some valuable information as to what projects are delivering. So I went to DAPP.com, and this is just a quick article, but it also has an attachment that describes which DApps are like really, doing the damn thing. Basically, the summary of this is DApps.com 2018 DApp Market Report summarizes data and provides insight into four mainstream blockchains: Ethereum, EOS, Tron, and Steem. They represent the whole blockchain ecosystem with the most active users in the market. And that's what it's about. It's about how many people are actually using these blockchains. That's where the value is. The value isn't in hyping a coin up because of a roadmap. Don't get me wrong, the roadmap has value to it, but what has been completed? What is working? What is actually out on the market available for people to use? In the highlights, we'll go over how 2018 was the first year of the DApp movement. Although the cryptocurrency market was bumpy, as we all know, we definitely took a turn for the worst. Nobody really expected that, at least not that quick. The run up and the run down was pretty quick. You have to admit that happened in like a month and a half. So nobody really expected that to happen that quick. But the entire DApp market was flourishing, and it contributed to $6.7 billion throughout 2018. A fun fact, compared to 2009, the year Apple opened its App Store, there were over 65,000 mobile apps built on iOS and generated $4.2 billion in revenue. That's pretty interesting. In 2018, DEX is the core contributor to the DApp market with almost 40% of the total transaction volume. And what it means by DEX is decentralized exchanges, which are marketplaces, exchanges where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency anonymously. So you don't have to give your information, you don't have to give your ID, you don't have to give anything. Now, there's most likely not going to be a fiat gateway on a decentralized exchange. At least I know that there's not one thus far, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think they have a fiat gateway yet for any decentralized exchange. IDEX is not a decentralized exchange last time I checked. So you really have to look at it from that. Cryptocurrency trading was still in high demand, and decentralized exchanges had proven to be one successful use case of dApps. Betting dApps took over the dominating role in the market since quarter four last year. There was a total transaction volume of almost $3 billion in quarter four, almost 44% of the total volume in 2018. Betting has become the killer app on the blockchain due to proven fairness. The booming betting DApp market was mainly contributed by EOS and Tron, the two high-speed DPoS blockchains built for decentralized apps. The number of blockchain gaming dApps was still leading with a large proportion of 35%, following by Pyramid 20% and betting around 20%. Overall, the DApp market is still driven by entertainment and gambling. So Ethereum. Because of its first mover advantage, Ethereum blockchain still dominates the market in regards to the number of dApps, wallets, and DApp users. But compared to other blockchains, It has less transaction amount, and 2019 might be the challenging year for Ethereum, especially for its scalability. Its transaction speed will greatly affect the user experience. In addition, Ethereum is the only one of 4 blockchains in this report that needs gas fee for its transaction. The fact that users have to own ETH to start their experience with decentralized apps are also hindering the mass adoption for Ethereum dApps. Now, this basically just makes me think of the internet when it first came out. I mean, because it's easily compared to the internet. A lot of people know what the internet is, and they sort of have like an idea of what it used to be. And the internet couldn't scale. The internet, you couldn't add like HD video clips to anything. You couldn't add, much to an attachment. It was basically just like basic email. You had dial-up connection, and everything was really, really slow until it wasn't. Does that make sense? Like, Ethereum might be slow to scale, and it might have these issues, and it has the gas fee, which comes in handy in a lot of ways, because the gas that comes along with Ethereum, there's also a gas fee for another blockchain called Neo, and that can be used as a form of appreciation too. That token appreciates over time. The more people use Neo, the more the gas price goes up, and it's basically like dividends paid out each month to people that hold Neo. And I don't know if Ethereum does that. I think you have to have like a really, really large amount of Ethereum or Ether to actually stake your coins like that, but I'm not going to go into detail with that. The fluctuation of the cryptocurrency market had a great impact on the usage of the Ethereum dApp, since decentralized exchanges are highly used among all Ethereum dApps. Fork Delta was the top dApp on Ethereum, with 30% users of all the Ethereum dApp users by 2018. Cryptocurrency trading in a trustless way is in high demand. Meanwhile, users have strong demand to trade while making sure their crypto assets are safe. On the other hand, a lot of tokens are being traded on decentralized exchanges to avoid expensive listing fees on centralized exchanges. Therefore, the usage of dApps is highly affected by the demand for trading. So decentralized trading dApps applications or websites or whatever you want to call them. Some of the popular ones are Binance, Coinbase. Basically, those are the largest ones that we know about, and they're all centralized, and they have pretty high trading fees compared to other decentralized exchanges. And on these, on these exchanges, you don't really own your crypto. You don't have private keys. And I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice. Other people will tell you 100 million times that if you don't have the keys to your wallet, then you do not have the keys to your crypto, which means that you don't own any coins, technically, until you transfer those out of the exchange into an offline wallet. Okay? That's basically the biggest rule in crypto. If you don't have your keys, you don't own your crypto. EOS has become the largest blockchain in terms of transaction amounts and transaction volume within 2 quarters in 2018. 97% of the transactions were from gambling, and 75% of transactions volume was contributed by betting games. EOS masternodes are taking the key roles to expand the EOS DAPP ecosystem. They have developed various tools to facilitate account setup and resource lending, and a lot of EOS DApps are advised or invested by the masternodes. The number of wallets on EOS mainnet is growing slow. There were twice as many Tron mainnet accounts as EOS mainnet accounts over the last year. Tron, the big boy, is the most ambitious in the DApp field, with a $2 billion Project Genesis launched in the second half of the year. In addition, it spends $100 million on Tron Arcade to promote its DApp ecosystem. Like EOS, Tron's masternodes, block producers, known as super representatives on Tron, are actively promoting and supporting DApp's ecological construction. Many of the SR participants were formerly game developers, and we can expect more high-quality game production on Tron in 2019. Looking forward to those DApps, man. The betting is really fun. They got the Tron bet game. They got the Tron dice game. It's provably fair. much more fair than any other system, I think you could say, because, when you use a gambling site, or you use a casino game in that casino, like, you don't really know if those games are provably fair. You don't know if they've been designed to win, like, one time out of 5 million plays or whatever the algorithm might be. There's an algorithm to it, right? Just like everything, just like anything when you're browsing the internet or when something pops up on your Facebook feed or news feed, like, the chances of that happening is all designed by the algorithm. It's a mathematical code that basically says what will be shown and what will happen. That's it. And provably fair betting applications are really, really killer. That's a great idea, and it's being executed on by these blockchains. And Steam. Steam is one of my favorite, decentralized applications because it has a lot of function and the ecosystem is growing really, really nicely. We also see a higher adoption of Steam dApps. 44% of all wallet account owners are actual DAPP users. Ethereum is at 2% of that. EOS is at 27.15%. Because of its social network attributes, plus the reward incentive, Steam dApps have a very solid user community base that was established in the early days. The social dApps on Steam are no strangers to normal users, such as Steam Hunt is a product hunt on Steam, DTube is just like YouTube, and Steepshot reminds us of Instagram. But all these applications are decentralized. They can't just like take down content. You choose what content you post. They don't flag you. They don't do anything like that. It's a whole ecosystem, and you get paid for your content. You can get paid within that ecosystem. And people are like, "Oh, what do you get paid with? You get paid with Steam? What the hell is Steam? That's not US dollars. What can I buy with that?" That's the idea behind this digital currency, I guess you could say. And people just do not understand. Set up an exchange account with Coinbase, link your bank account, right? And then open up another exchange account with like Binance or whatever one you want. So you buy the Bitcoin or the Ethereum or the Litecoin or the Zcash on Coinbase with your US dollar, transfer that cryptocurrency over to another exchange to buy whatever cryptocurrency you want. Now, whether that cryptocurrency appreciates in price or if it depreciates in price, that's besides the point. You can always transfer that crypto back to Coinbase in the form of one of those 4 cryptocurrencies, or 5 now, I think it's 5. They also have Ethereum Classic. You can transfer whatever token you want to the Coinbase, one of those 5, and then change it back into US dollar. Does that make sense? Some people don't even understand that part about it. But that's basically the gist of it. So if you're gaining value in an ecosystem like Steam, and you're getting a ton of Steam, and you're really gaining value, you can transfer that Steam over to another exchange, and then swap out your Steam for Bitcoin or Litecoin, and then transfer that to your Coinbase account, and then cash out with US dollar, deposit it into your bank account. That's how it works. So sorry I went into such detail with that, but that's a really, really crucial point that a lot of people just don't understand. That's value right there, Whoops. And this just goes into, basically the whole entire number scheme of what's actually going on. So the number of actual active dApps altogether are 1,423. The number of unique DAPP users is like 1,426,927. The amount of transactions is 279,387,641. And the volume, it's just like, it's just going to grow. This number is just going to grow. The market dominance by DAPP category. So you can see that the pink are games. The pink is pretty much running the show, and that would be games. This goes into ETH, EOS, Steam, Tron, all the separate numbers. Really, really, really great information. I'm not going to go into much detail about the numbers and where things are at right now, but I definitely recommend getting acquainted with this article and just doing your research. I'm also going to share with you what I wanted to share with you before, which was another valuable tool to look at these cryptocurrencies and to look at what is actually producing value and what isn't. And that's by the crypto commits, the actual commits that these teams and developers are working on and what they actually put on GitHub, which is their repository for all the updates and all the brand new, features that they're adding to these blockchains and things like that. So you'll notice that there's like a handful of projects that are really doing some amazing work. Number one is Insular. It's got 8,159 commits in the last year. And it's going by the year, by the way, past 12 months. Number two is ZRX. It's the standard for a decentralized exchange. And ZRX, if I'm not mistaken, is based on the Ethereum blockchain. 7,000 commits with 51 contributors in the last year. Number three, no surprise, Tron, a decentralized content marketplace with 5,355 commits. Next up, Rchain, blockchain and smart contracts. I haven't looked actually into Rchain at all. I don't know much about that. I don't know about the roadmap too much, so that's something to look into. They've got about 5,300 commits in the last year. Not bad at all. Holochain, decentralized exchange. 4,800 commits, 25 contributors. Right on. Zilliqa is a smart contract platform, if I'm not mistaken, with around 4,500 commits this year. So they're working. Languages in C++, and if you look right here below that, you can see when it was created. It was created in December of 2017, updated 9/18/2018. The language that they're using is C++. That's how many watchers they have, 644, and the top contributor, Kai Kawali. Really useful information. Number 7, Zeus Shield, decentralized insurance. I don't know much about that either. 4,300 commits. EOS, not a surprise, decentralized applications on WebAssembly. 4,100 commits this year. ELF, decentralized computing. 3,900 commits. Nulls, blockchain and DAPP infrastructure. I've heard Nulls being shilled quite a bit. I personally haven't looked into it. Something to definitely look at. 3,900 commits. Not bad at all. Republic Protocol, number 11. Man, I don't know a lot about any of these, man. I just know that they're committing to the game right now. They're committing and they're putting out content. So 3,200 commits for Republic Protocol. Number 12 is Lisk, decentralized applications in JavaScript. That's what sets Lisk apart from a lot of other dApps. I mean blockchains, but they're using JavaScript. They're using a reputable language, an easy to use language. Well, I wouldn't say easy to use, but I would say that it is pretty universal. I mean, if you're a coder and you know how to code, then you probably know how to use JavaScript. That's 3,200 commits for Lisk. Very good. Number 13, the Raiden Network Token, Ethereum payment channels. Also a scaling solution. Really interested in Raiden Network and seeing where they take their project. But they're working on it. 3,000 commits, not a bad idea. Arc, number 14, 2,600 commits. Don't know much about Arc. Number 15, Skycoin. I know John McAfee's dumbass got that tattooed on him, so I might have to steer clear of this one. Man, maybe I'll get some, just for the pump, just for the hype. But they got 2,500 commits. Maybe it's more than just a hype pump coin. You'll have to be the judge of that, Number 16 is Cardano. Good old Cardano. You can't really, you can't out Cardano. You can't sleep on Cardano. They have so many different developers working on Cardano and so many different brilliant people involved in the space that I think it would be very hard for them not to release a beautiful product, a great product, a time-tested product in the future. I think they're going to do great things. I think it's a long-lasting game with them. I think it's like a long game. And, you know, load up on your Cardano, man. 2,400 commits thus far. Number 17 is Ion, high performance blockchain. I've heard some good things about Ion. I heard some, you know, a couple people mining Ion, and they got 2,400 commits this year. Number 18 is Waves, decentralized exchange and crowdfunding, 2,400 commits. Number 19 is ProChain, decentralized digital advertising, 2,800 commits just about. Number 20, Chainlink, external contract data, 2,100 commits. I'm going to stop there, guys, but you get the idea. Golem is a, you know, basically like an Uber for your computing power. Or I'm sorry, an Airbnb for your computing power. You know, you can rent out your computing power to people. That's going to be big in the future. Whether or not Golem achieves that goal or not is anybody's guess, but they are working hard with 1,800 commits. Bitcoin, good old Bitcoin, the king, 1,700 commits. And this is where I'm going to, you know, say that just because a coin has less commits than the other coin doesn't mean that the coin with the more commits is better by any means at all. It just means that there's people actively working on it, and, you know, whether that work is actually valuable and good work or not is anyone's guess. Time will tell what applications succeed and which ones don't, but this gives you kind of like an idea of who's using that money to good spending, you know what I mean? Because there was a run up in the market. A lot of these projects just got way overfunded. You know, some people took the funds and left, and some people are working, and you can see the ones that are working right now. So yeah, I'm going to cut this video short, guys. Right now it's 21 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed my little breakdown of how to find value within the space. You know, I know there's a lot of stuff out there that is, you know, hard to track, and it's hard to keep track of certain things. And, you know, this is a pretty decent guideline to go by. You know, first off, look at the most active blockchains, like the most, you know, who's actually using them, and then look at the active commits on GitHub. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to know more. I'll continue to make some videos. Thanks, guys.